The class-leading Pacifica 112V combines player-focused, stage-ready spec with no compromise construction and setup to create the best value player scooter on the market. Yamaha states that to us. Is that true? You can see the structure of this video on the screen right now. It helps you to jump to the section that you want to see. And if you want to compare the prices of the scooter, click the links in the description. It helps me out. It helps me to produce more scooter content for you guys. And without further ado, let's jump to the overview.
Yamaha standard looking headstock with the round-shaped sealed diecast tuners, then the narrow 1.4 to 1 nut. It's really comfortable, great for small-handed players like me. Also the rosewood fretboard combined with the 22 medium frets. It's really nice, comfortable, and then the amazing contour for your picking hand on the body. It's always worth mentioning with these Yamahas. And gladly Yamaha is a little bit more clearer with the specifications of this 112V than they are with 012, for example. They don't tell us stuff like this has a rosewood or maple fretboard and stuff like that. And the body, it has a closed finish, and the maple neck, it has the satin finish, and this neck, it's really smooth and really comfortable and easy to play. And then one really amazing thing about this scooter, it has a coil split, so you can split your bridge humbucker and play it just with one coil to get more brighter, spankier sounds out of it. And for this price, this feature is really amazing. And the fretboard, it's flawless as the finish overall with this Yamaha. And let's now look inside of the backplate and see what this has stored. And all the solderings and all the electronics look really good. I have nothing to complain about when it comes to these, but there is some dust inside this backplate, and that can cause some problems in some cases. If the dust goes in the switch, for example, then you have to clean it or something like that, but I didn't have any problems with the electronics of this. And of course, if you open the backplate, then you can clean the dust off and it won't cause any problems. But of course, Yamaha should clean the insides of the backplate before shipping this to the music retailers. As you can see, this has 3 springs on the tremolo block, and the usability of this tremolo, it's pretty tight. Yeah, pretty tight, but of course you can probably remove the one spring on the middle and test it like that if it feels too tight for you. Also, I measured the string spacing by using the 2 different methods, and also the width of the neck from different places, and you can see these measurements from the screen right now. And I also checked if this had any uneven frets. I had no fret buzz issues, and action is pretty low with this, but the 1st and the 6th frets are a bit higher than the rest, and also the 14, 15 and 16 frets are a little bit lower than the rest, but again, no fret buzz for me. And I also measured the resistances of each pickup, also the split humbucker, and this resistance, it gives us indications about how much output the pickups have. More resistance means more output. And this 112V has harder pickups than, for example, Yamaha Pacifica 012 and Yamaha Pacifica 112J. Those have the same ceramic pickups, and this 112V, it offers harder tones for us.
The looks of this scooter, we get those, I would say, classic Pacifica looks. Stratocaster with the Yamaha Pacifica twist. I really like the looks of this scooter. Not my favorite scooter when it comes to looks. I like the original Strats more when we are talking about the looks, but not bad by any means. I'm not a huge fan of this type of headstock. It's not ugly, but it's not my favorite either. But overall, the looks of this scooter are nice. Everything, especially I like the body of this scooter a lot. I think it looks great. And then also the fretboard, rosewood fretboard and the satin neck. Look and also feel really nice. I would rate the looks of this scooter 4 out of 5. And then the hardware. When it comes to hardware with this axe, I have really nothing to complain. The bridge, 6-saddle bridge, it's great. Adjusting it is easy. It works well. The tremolo arm works well. Our tremolo blocks, springs are working correctly. But when it comes to my personal preference, I would like that this tremolo arm would be a little bit more loose. It's really tight to use. It has Yamaha Pacifica 112, for example, cheaper beginner model of the Pacifica. It has 2 springs, but this had 4 springs, and it's sturdy. It has a good feel in that sense, but it's just, for me, it's a little bit too tight. But I could stop complaining and just remove the 1 spring and test if it's better after that. But yeah, it's right out of the gate, out of the box, it's a little bit too tight for me. And then the tuners, this has slightly different tuners than the cheaper Yamaha Pacifica 012. It has round sealed tuners, but between these two I didn't notice any huge difference. Both hold the tune well. I would rate the hardware of this scooter 5 out of 5. And electronics. So yeah, this has really versatile HSS pickup configuration, humbucker, 2 single coils, and plus this has that coil split on the bridge humbucker. Really nice feature, especially for this price, and adds a lot of versatility for you. And all these settings, pickups, they work really well. I have nothing to complain about the quality of those for this price. No, everything works great. Inside the backplate over here, there's some dust. The cheaper Yamaha didn't have that. So that could, in some cases, cause some problems if the dust goes, for example, inside the switch. That can cause some problems and you have to clean it. So it would be better if Yamaha would just get rid of all the dust inside the backplate before closing it. But it didn't really cause me any problems, so I can't complain much. So even that there is this kind of good happen thing, really great electronics for the money. And these pickups are Almaker pickups. So those cheaper models, for example, that 012, it had ceramic pickups, so that's upgrade too. And I would rate the electronics, the quality of those, they were great. I would rate those 5 out of 5. Then the playability. C-shaped neck, it feels really nice, really good feel on it. It feels a little bit thicker than, for example, with that 012 Pacifica, but for some beginners, small-handed people, kids, girls, for example, this, especially with the bar records and stuff like that, this can be a little bit harder to tame and play than some other beginner models. But it's not a huge issue, but of course always as a beginner you should look for on easy as possible playability. So in that sense this is not always the easiest possible. But when we move on the fretboard, this scooter has a lot better feel on it than any under $200 scooters, for example, that I have recently tested. This is kind of a minor upgrade when we look at the feel of this. It responds to you playing really well, and for example, sweep picking, it's much more comfortable and easier, and also finger picking and playing chords and almost everything except those bar chords maybe are easier, more comfortable with this scooter. And again, with Yamaha, no sharp fret edges, so the playing is really comfortable. And medium frets work best for me. It makes playing really effortless, and you can feel the fretboard too when you are playing. I really like that. And when we move to the body, there is some aspects that affect the playability a lot. First, this contour for against your chest, belly, it's great. Many scooters have similar kind of contour, but then this contour over here for your picking hand, it's so far under $200 and $300 scooters that I have tested, this is the most comfortable. This is really great. I'm becoming to appreciate this contour more and more when I play this. It's really comfortable. Same goes with the Yamaha Pacifica 012. But with that budget model 012, the bridge is a little bit more comfortable and it kind of anchors your hand in a better way. This scooter has this regular type of 6-saddle bridge. It's okay, and I'm more used to this, but I prefer the bridge of that 012 more than with this one. But for your picking hand, everything is made as easy as possible. Really nice feeling you play it. If we would compare that there would not be this contour, your hand would be sit like this, it would be a lot less comfortable. But now it kind of rests here and it's great. I really enjoy playing this, although that the neck is slightly thicker than I would want it to be again, but still it responds to your playing and hands so well, and it's super comfortable, so I really like the playability of this. But those couple minor things what I just mentioned take a little bit out of the playability score, but I still would rate the playability of this scooter 4.8 out of 5.
Let's now compare this 112V to couple similar scooters. And first let's compare it to 112J. And right now the price difference is about $80. I'm right now looking at these on the Sweetwater. 112V, it goes for $299, and then the Pacifica 112J, it goes for $290. So $80 difference. The main differences: first, 112V, it feels more comfortable to play, a little bit more easier to play in my opinion too, and it feels like a more expensive scooter, and especially fast playing was easier with it. And then the second difference, the pickups. The Pacifica 112V, it has the Alnico pickups, and then the 112J, it has the ceramic pickups. And these are the same ones that are also on the cheapest Pacifica 012. And these pickups are fine, definitely good for the price, great even, but when compared to these Alnico pickups of this 112V, the difference is noticeable. And in my opinion, the price difference between these two is definitely justified. I would always, if I would have the money, I would always go with the 112V. It's a better scooter. Plus, I forgot to mention the coil split. 112V has coil split on the bridge humbucker, so you can split the coil and play just with one coil on the bridge. Adds a tons of versatility into your playing. If you don't have the money for the 112V, then both the Pacifica 012 and this 112J are great options. Nice scooters, both offer really great value for money, but here 112V wins easily. And then let's compare it to Squier Classic Wipe 7, the Stratocaster HSS, and here this Squier it's more expensive, it costs $429, and again this Pacifica 112V it costs $299, so $130 difference. And is it justified? Well, the bodywood, the Yamaha it has alder, and the Squier has a poplar, and tonewood I believe always has some effect into your tone, at least on the mental level. When it comes to density and the tonal differences, the poplar should give a little bit more brighter tones and alder should be a little bit more balanced, but these are really similar, so no real differences in my opinion here. And both these have Alnico pickups, so level up from the beginner models, entry level models. And the Yamaha's single coils, these are not as bright as with most Squier Strats. So these don't give you those really original bright and spanky single coil tones. So if you want that, if you want bright and spanky tones, then this 70 Strat is a better option and the most Squier Strats on general. But if you are not a huge fan of those bright and spanky single coil tones, then these single coils of this Yamaha might be great for you. More warmer and duller and fuller. And overall, I like the tones of this Squier a little bit more. But if you want to play distortion and metal and modern rock, then in my opinion the Pacifica does a better job. Plus, this Pacifica, it has a coil split, so 1 point for the Pacifica. Because of that, adds tons of versatility, nice to have. And then the nut width. The Squier gives you more original Strat experience with 1.65 nut, but both are still really comfortable to play. For small hands, this Pacifica might be a little bit more comfortable and easier to play. And then the nut here, the Squier, that's the edge, it has a real bone nut. It improves your sustain and the guitar plays a little bit better overall. And then the frets, which one you like more, taller or shorter frets, comes down to that. And also the frets of this 112V are more wider. Personally, I like the frets of the Pacifica more comfortable for me. And then the fretboard radius, again, I just personally like more flatter fretboard, more overall. Fast playing is easier and playing overall is easier. But when it comes to playing near the nut, here the little bit more curve helps in my opinion. Riffs and chords with the more curve are a little bit easier. So on that department, Squier is a little bit better. And then the control knobs, the Squier gives you more control over your tone because it has 2 tone knobs for the neck and then 1 for the bridge and middle. So a little bit more control over your tone. And the price difference here, it's kind of justified. Both are really great guitars. And with Pacifica, it was flawless. No issues with the finish, anything like that. Really comfortable. All the fretboard edges and the fret edges were really smooth. So I imagine that you really can't do any better for under 500. So both are great on that department in my opinion. It really comes down to which one do you like more. Those bright single coil tones and a little bit wider neck is better for some folks, and also the bone nut is nice to have. So it's kind of justified, but I wouldn't say that you should always go with the Squier if you have the money, because this Pacifica, it's great, especially if you want to use distortion, even though that it costs $130 less. So it really comes down to which qualities do you appreciate more with this.
Now it's time to listen to sound demos. Clean, grunge, rock tones and then distorted metal tones. And after that I will reveal you my opinion about the tones. So let's check this out. nice tones in my opinion. And my personal favorites are from the pickups are tones that I can get with the neck single coil and also the bridge humbucker. I really like those tones the most. And no matter what settings I used with my Boss Katana 50 Mkii to really nice tones with especially with these two pickups. The middle singlet coil, it's kind of okay, handles the job for me, nothing amazing. And then the split humbucker on the bridge. I played with it quite a bit, but still it's not my favorite. I would wish a little bit more brighter tones from the bridge singlet coil. So it's not my favorite, but still it's great to have this option here. That's a ton of versatility. And overall the versatility with this scooter, it's amazing for the price. And this can handle metal too. This is not a metal scooter, but can handle metal. Great scooter for those who want to play all sorts of different stuff. Explore all kind of games. This is great scooter for those. And for me, I really like the cleans of this scooter too. Really gentle, tons of nice sounding options. And also great for rock. I like the rock tones, maybe second best with this scooter. Amazing tones. And I think that when the clean tones are good sounding with the scooter, it's always a good foundation for the scooter. So yeah, it's good sign for me. But if I really start to nitpick, then I would wish more for the middle single coil and also for the split humbucker. And if you are looking for a really bright sounding single coils, then this is probably not the best option for you. These are not super bright. Good sounding, but not very bright. I would rate the sounds of this scooter, keeping the price around $300, 4.8 out of 5. Then the value for money. Yamaha stated that this is the best value player scooter on the market. So, best value for money. And it's hard to not agree with him. This is definitely one of the best value for money scooters out there. Absolutely. I have not tested all of them, so I can't say for sure. But right now, for 300, this gives you the most value for money, in my opinion. No finish or build quality issues. Everything is great on that department. Then great quality pickups, Alnico pickups, coil split, stays tuned well. The hardware is great and super versatile, sounds good. Amazing value for money. 5 out of 5. And let's look at the pros and cons of this scooter. And you can notice that most of those cons are kind of my personal preferences. And that only reveals you that this scooter is really great. So the pros. Stays tuned well, overall nice quality hardware, coil split, versatile pickup configuration, and sounds great. And then the playability, it feels like more expensive scooter, like $400, $500 scooter when you move your hand across the neck. Responds to your playing very well and really smooth, comfortable, and neck is really smooth fitting too. And then the contour for your right hand especially deserves the special mention. It's really comfortable. So those are the pros. Pretty nice scooter. And then the cons. The neck is a little bit on the thicker side. That is a small con for me personally. Also the middle single coil, it's nothing amazing. It's okay. It does the job. And also the split humbucker on the bridge, when it's split that one coil only, it's only okay too. I would want more brightness, then it would be nicer to use it with rock and blues solos, for example. And then this bridge, for me, it's not the most comfortable when you hold your hand against it. It doesn't anchor your hand to it like in any way. It's kind of really basic. And then the headstock again, just my personal opinion, not my favorite, but it definitely doesn't ruin this scooter. This is really great scooter. And who is this for? If you're looking for a ton of versatility, around $300, and you prefer to have the coil split, then this is one of the best picks. And if you want to play all kinds of stuff, you are not looking for a metal scooter to just play metal, but you visit metal now and then this can serve you well. This humbucker can definitely do some metal for you. Not the darkest, heaviest, the most edgiest stuff, but still I think it sounds really good with distortion too. And if the finish and quality that is kind of better than you would expect for this price, around 300. If you're looking for something like that, then this is really nice pick. And overall, best with rock, in my opinion. Best with rock music. Great for that kind of stuff, but can handle everything. But if you're looking for just a metal guitar, then I think there is better options for you out there. Or if you're looking for really bright sounding single coils, then maybe the Squier Affinity Strat is a better option for you, for example. And also if you want a really slim neck, I think then some Ibanez options are better for you. That starts to wrap this thing up. If you're interested, compare the prices of this scooter by clicking the links in the description. It helps me out. Check the prices there. And subscribe for more. There are a couple more videos coming with this axe. Some comparison, for example. And stay safe, and hopefully I will see you again.